Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Thursday, and it's 9 p.m. So once again, it's UK Cowboys time. How are we all doing, guys?
Doing good.
Buzzing.
Everyone all right?
1 week to go. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
excited. Draft cap game this morning.
Yeah.
I have to admit
That is it is.
That is one of the best draft hats I've seen for a wee while.
Yep.
The one from 3 years ago was probably the worst one.
It is. They are quite nice, actually.
3 more days of free to draft, and here we come.
I didn't like the draft hat where it had just Dallas Cowboys written across it. I just thought that was just they did it with all of them. You know what I mean? It was just the name of the team, and it was like, little unimaginative.
I thought one of the nicest ones they did is that for every city that they did.
We are fully into it. Only 7 more days, even less if you're watching tomorrow or on the weekend, till the big day, the draft and the 24-hour show. We'll get more details on that for you in this show. But this week, it is Hot Takes Prop Bets. So we did have Barry Gipson booked, but he had to cancel. Yeah, we can hear you, mate. So they had to cancel last minute. Not a problem, though. So instead, you just got these 4 cowpokes talking about their hot takes. But let's get into it, right, guys? Let's start with the usual, with the old news and updates, because we have had a bit of crazy news this week. So the first one off the bat, and I'm going to get a hot take off you guys. Reggie Robinson's been given a 2-game ban for performance-enhancing substances.
Rashard Robinson, not Reggie.
Rashard Robinson. Sorry, not Reggie. Rashard Robinson. Based on the fact with the way the corners are and with everything going on and the 2-game ban, do you think perhaps this could be the last that we see of him?
Yeah, I think so. He only got on the team last year because of obviously injuries. He was mostly back and forth from the practice squad, brought up for insurance purposes, that sort of thing. Assuming we pick 2 corners in this draft, I think the numbers are going to be against him, because you'll be sticking with Reggie Robinson hopefully for another year, given that you put draft stock in him. This guy was a street free agent, so the numbers don't bode well for him. You'll probably see him maybe get released just before training camp, or maybe in the aftermath of the draft.
Silly thing to do for a guy on the fringe. I mean, you're looking for every opportunity to try and make a team, and then you go and do something silly like that. Now, it might be that he didn't know what he was taking or putting in his body, or
they would know what they were taking. They would know.
Yeah, even if we're just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, it's still a stupid thing to do, especially when you're on the bubble. If you're a starter, you'll get away with it. 2 games, you'll get away with it. But see if you're on a fringe special teamer, nah, see you later. We'll get somebody else, because there's plenty out there.
We said, I think I commented to you guys in the group when that news broke the other day, and Paul kind of touched on it just then, that they'll know what they're taking, but it's just, when are they going to stop being dumbasses and stop taking this stuff, because it's not gonna not show up. And like you say, the league's so strict with what can be taken, and not just NFL. There's, do you know what I mean? You take all sports around the world, so it's not as, I didn't know what I was taking, because they're advised and constantly. So it's just dumbass moves by people who just clearly just think that they're entitled to be in the league and get away with it.
I was trying to play diplomat, but you just know. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but you can tell the Cowboys will have 2 or 3 members of staff that will know the rules inside out. You can't take this, you can't take that. Pick up the phone and ask, can I take this? Can I not take this?
So just to kind of like take your argument there, Graham, further, see, especially when it comes to, like, I'm going to take a different sport as an example with the USADA doping agency and stuff like that, when it comes to martial arts. every athlete needs to, like, if they're on a sponsorship supplement, for example, the sponsored athletes for a certain brand and that, they still need to get this checked by you. Say, is this okay for me to take before even taking one bit of it? You know, they can still promote it, but they can't take it. So for like NFL players, they should be reading exactly what it is and checking with their specialists within the team, within NFL. So, is this supplement okay for me to take? I have not taken anything yet. You can test me, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Then this is, no, there's some type of estrogen or some, I don't know what, some type
chemical
of,
in it.
some type of compound in there that can actually elevate your levels up, maybe in testosterone or something like that. We don't know, but there's something in there that can increase the ability of making you play better. So, there's that argument. So I think for any athlete out there to say, "Oh, being careless and not," they should know fine well you're getting paid all that amount of money. You should be knowing exactly what you're putting in your body. There's no excuse.
It's not like he's been out of the country where, there was an excuse for Alan Butter back in the Olympics where he'd used a Vicks inhaler from one country and it used a different ingredient or something like that. And that kicked him into the ban list as well. So you got to, especially when you're in your hometown and all that, you should have a good idea of what supplements you're taking, what's on the ingredients list and everything like that. And if you're trying out a new substance or whatever, you've got to, again, you should be checking. It's your responsibility for what you're taking.
Yeah, it's all about self-ownership. Like, every player needs to be responsible for their own actions, regardless if you're on the football field, if you make a bad play. Even outside of football, you still need to take responsibility in those actions, because that can affect your team. Like, even though Rashad's not exactly going to be a starting player, like you said, he was undrafted and stuff like that. But it's the principle. Like, see if that was like a first rounder, you'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Excuse my language here,
not again.
But like you just like Paul just said then. He said, especially because he's on the bubble, you would think, not that it's excusing it from like a first or second round draft player, but someone's on the bubble who wasn't drafted, you would think that they would take extra precaution just for the fact that just the teams sometimes look for the littlest error to cut someone. So yeah, more sympathy for him.
Put it this way: if here's a great example. What if it was Tony Romo that happened to? Can you imagine?
Exactly.
Or like, maybe not as much of a drastic one, but he as a starter is Antoine Woods. That would have been like a big damage to our defensive line. Like, if he was given that ban. So it doesn't really, in the spectrum of undrafting it really depends on where you are within the team. Doesn't matter what draft pick you are, but the fact is, like, every player, doesn't matter if you're first round, second round, undrafted, or traded over, whatever, you have that responsibility to make sure that you're not putting any stupid chemicals or compounds within your body, so therefore you can play legally within the NFL.
Problem is it's not a Cowboys off season without us having at least one player.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, but you touched on it as well there about Antoine Woods. He literally, just before we got on air, has been signed and extended. So he's now with the Cowboys for this foreseeable future.
My boy.
The human log. So
big shout out to Antoine. Big shout out to him, man.
And on our social media, we had a few check boxes. One was to sign a defensive lineman in free agency period. That ticks the other box. So we're there. It's just the draft side now. Also, in other news, people sent a few messages out as well. Was about Trayvon Diggs, that he made the news as well. The only thing I can say is that news haven't really it popped up. Haven't heard anything more. So,
this is how irrelevant this is. I don't even remember what the girl's name is. Like, she's supposed to be some type of, I don't know what, influencer or some shit like that. Get to fuck.
Yeah, she's a rapper, and I think her name's Chinese Kitty, is it?
Or something like that.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's
just
I mean, the
silly
fact
and
that it's not being reported. So, I mean, the fact that, the big media isn't really saying much says it all, really. I'll wait until it comes.
Like, the fact is, it's not actually been filed. You just kind of said that there. It's like, okay, you're literally taking everything with a pinch of salt now. It says, oh yeah, like she posted screenshots, but there's no full context behind that. It's just basically him saying, like, that we don't even know what raised up to that level. So we don't know. So until otherwise,
it's no news.
It's no news.
Yeah,
do you know what the only scary thing about it is, just going back to obviously the whole Zeke thing, whereas, I mean, he did not wrong and still got banned for it. And like I said, not saying,
and he wasn't even in the league.
Yeah, and not saying Diggs hasn't done anything, but like you say, it always seems to be with the NFL. It seems to be guilty till proven innocent, and it should be all with everything. It should be the other way around.
So I'm about to go off on a rant, and I do apologize, Mike.
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
The Deshaun Watson situation, right? When you compare that to Zeke, it was just I'm not like any sexual it's just wrong in general, right? We know that should never there should be nothing that it's no excuse. But when it comes to when someone was actually done something, it was never proven. When you've got 30 people at least going after Deshaun Watson, what is his penalty going to be like? We've not heard one single peep, anything from the NFL, what they're doing to that. So Zeke must be sitting there, it's like, all right, okay, so I did literally nothing sitting here back here. I proved the evidence so that I did nothing, yet you still hit me with a 4-game ban. Yeah, there's over 30 people with the same type of story going after Deshaun Watson. So what the hell, NFL? What the hell, Roger Goodell? Get your head out your arse. You know what I mean? Sorry, I just wanted to say it.
It does in that sense. It is a bit weird because obviously with the NFL, they are the judge, jury, and executioner. So, they do sign that in part of the contract is a conduct policy. So when you sign to it, what you're doing is you're saying if something crops up with my name and it's negative, I give you the power to decide what to do with that information. And it's very weirdly written. I've asked before about the conduct policy, and apparently that side of the contract is very, very oddly written. That is very weird. Even the terminology and the language in it. They said it's really hard to decipher.
So it sounds like Roger Goodell had a couple of bottles of Don Julio when he wrote it in.
You know what's the way?
That's what it sounds like.
Well, it's the fact that the NFL or the commissioner is judge, jury, and executioner. Nah, that's just ridiculous. This should surely be.
Well, that's what's happened though, Jamie. That's what happened with Zeke. Like Zeke. Like, because even with Zeke, like he even had like the police report that had them put and even what was the independent investigator who Goodell actually hired to do it and actually came back and said there's no evidence. It's like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. You're still getting a ban. Screw it.
That's what I mean.
You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
He's technically got a conflict of interest, hasn't he? Because it was obviously he runs the league, so then he can overrule a police report.
Well, Goodell could suck my balls, that's for sure. Sorry, everyone. I just had to say
it. Yeah, we do try and tell everyone not to swear. That's gone out the window in the first 10 minutes. It's all right.
Yeah, try us three Scottish and a man from Yorkshire to try and calm down our lingo. We just won an award for the most cursing part of Britain, so I am celebrating that.
But yeah, let's get into it, guys. So this week is quite a simple show, very, very easy. It's going to be hot takes, do some prop bets as well, and basically talk about your favorite players, as well as everybody watching at home, seeing all the comments flying in. Good to see it all. Good to see the regulars as always, not just from America and the UK, around the world as well, Australia more specifically. So we'll get into a hot take. Here's one for you, right? Here's a hot take. Now, I put this up already on our Twitter. Got split down the middle. My hot take is drafting Patrick Surtain or JC Horn does not help the Dallas Cowboys at all. I'll give you my reason. That the Dallas Cowboys rank last in rush defense because of their front seven, right? The front seven is the front seven is totally bad, right? At what point, right? We've got Trayvon Diggs on one side. At what point has any team in the NFL, even yourselves, gone, okay, the Cowboys are playing this team who have two good cornerbacks. We're going to struggle. We've never, ever said that. Not once. But how many times have we gone to a game and gone, our front seven's hefty?
Yeah. But, I mean, again, you look
happens all the time.
You look 2 years ago, we were a good run stuff in defense then. Last year with the change in system, all the intricacies of it, players weren't able to just keep it simple, so they were having to stop and think about things, so they weren't able to play at speed. I mean, that's going to be a big factor this year if Dan Quinn can get in and get the teaching done, get it, you know, and from all accounts, the Cowboys are actually still going to be doing a lot of they're not going to be one of these teams that are doing the staying away from the off-season training and doing everything virtually. They're going to be doing some field work, and at the moment I think there's 15 there's a session in the morning, there's a session in the afternoon, and the players are coming in and doing the fitness training just now. All the meetings or teaching will be done online. If they can get that out of the way and get the install in before training camp, we should be a lot faster on defense this year. We've got we've got guys who have got speed. They just need to be able to play at speed by knowing what their assignments are.
I can see why.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know,
I can see why it's fairly split.
I mean, if you go to our post on Twitter, people were literally divided with that comment. They were going, "Yeah, I agree," and some people going, "No, we need corners too." But the issue, and I'll let you speak, Gray. My point just was that with the worst run stopping defense, how does taking a corner at 10, that by the way is going to take 3, 4 years to develop, how does that help you in your rush defense this year? And sorry, Gray, I'll let you get back to it.
I would argue that it didn't take Trayvon Diggs 3 or 4 years to become our top corner. So if lightning can strike twice, but what I would say on that point is, you need to look at it as an overall picture. Our offense wasn't clicking, which meant we got behind, which meant that encouraged teams to run the ball more. If we have an efficient offense, it's going to lead them to the pass to try and get them to get the opposition back in the game, which takes away from the run, and then you need your corner. So there's different ways of looking at it. I can see why it's split, but I do see why you want to address your front seven if you were ranked as poorly on D. I can see both points. That's probably why it's split down the middle. You can see two sides of the argument.
Do you know what?
And the other... Go on.
I was just going to say, just to back up, kind of, not saying Mike's right or wrong, just a lot of people are now...
No, it's a hot take.
I'm just saying, a lot of people are now saying that Surtain's not even worthy of a top 10 pick. And what impressed, and if I saw the piece right, if you look, and it could well be JC Horn, if you look at him based on the yards he allowed against the wide receivers that are in this year's draft, some of them didn't get near to nothing.
One of them being Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, if you see in the hype video that's been released yesterday with Kyle Pitts and his interview with Jerry and everything like that, he was asked who he went.
Oh, we technical difficulty.
Yeah. Dory Lawn.
Yeah.
No.
So he was saying that.
Yeah, we kind of lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost you slightly on that one, Lawn.
Right.
Yeah, you're breaking in and out.
What?
But one of the arguments that I liked to do is basically rank the last 4 corners taken in the first round, right? So Lattimore, Denzel Ward, Jeff Okudah, right? Then you add Surtain into it. If I was going to rank those 4 corners in order, Surtain is last in terms of prospects coming out of college. How they'll be in the NFL.
Even behind Jeff Okudah, who had an
100%.
absolute shot, even though he was absolutely god awful for the Lions.
Yeah, I'm not on about how they will be in the NFL. I'm just talking in terms of if you was to look at them as prospects coming out of college.
Yeah.
Do you know, I am with a lot of people that if we took Surtain at 10, it wouldn't piss me off. Sorry to use the word there, but I've started to get on the trade for Rashawn Slater at 10. If we can't get a trade back, I'd rather take Slater at 10 and try and pick up a corner in the second.
The only issue I got with offensive tackle, I don't know what you guys think. The only issue I've got with that is if you look at the Cowboys, literally to me, when you look at the evidence of what they're looking at, nothing screams offensive tackle to me that they're going to take him. It doesn't mean that if, say, like Penei Sewell is there, they'll take him, but not once has it cropped up in conversation this offseason. They just never mentioned it.
Well, to be fair, neither did wide receiver last year.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they won't, like, say, Penei Sewell falls to them, just like CD Lamb did at pick, 17. So, these things can happen.
I mean, what the ideal situation would be for someone like Trey Lance to still be there at 10, because they're falling off the hook. And then, as they've been saying on all the Cowboys shows this week,
that's a good point, Jamie.
King's ransom. If you want your quarterback, and I think it was on Mickey's Hot Takes the other day, they were saying if Washington wants to come up, you want this year's first, next year's first, and someone along the lines of one of them pass rushers from Washington to even contemplate letting them get the quarterback.
Yeah, because obviously now with Alex Smith now retiring, all they've got is Ryan Fitzpatrick and whoever the backups are for Washington. So they'll definitely be in the hunt for a quarterback. So we're sitting in a nice wee situation where there could be a couple of teams that will be answering us for a phone call at number 10, moves down a few places just right behind Washington, perhaps. But they would have to give up quite a fair bit if it's so many places.
I'm starting to think he's not going to fall that far, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's all key on who the 49ers take at number 3, I think. If they take Mac Jones, then Trey Lance is whoever's the 5th quarterback, he'll be gone by that point.
I think it will be Trey Lance, I think. But everyone keeps talking about he might end up in Foxborough.
Yeah.
Steve makes a good point. Well, do you know what I mean? We've started to get really good with we've started getting really good with the draft and not letting kind of the cat out of the hat even. I get it right.
Well, let's put it honestly. Going back to last year, McClay did not say one thing until Jerry says, "I might splash out. I might take over." What happened?
Yeah. Well, has anyone got a hot take for you, or do you want me to give you another one? Does somebody have a hot take for us? Go on, Paul.
My hot take is anyone but a tight end.
That's
it. Anyone but tight end. Anyone but tight end, wide receiver, running back, quarterback. I'll be happy if we get an offensive tackle or offensive guard, but obviously it depends on the value, what we're drafting at, whatever. But it has to be someone in the defensive side of the ball. So that's what I see happening for the draft. Like,
yeah, I'm with you.
If I see, oh God, I would be be so pissed off if we do end up getting Kyle Pitts. I'd be pissed off about it, to be honest.
I'm gonna flip Paul's hot take and say if Kyle Pitts is there, the Cowboys don't even entertain trade calls, and Cowboys don't pass on Kyle Pitts if he's there.
Yeah, I agree. If he's there, they take him and be prepared for it. But I mean, you could argue and you could say,
Miami,
well, we got Amari Cooper.
Please draft him, Miami.
Miami is fielding calls this week to move down again.
Like, let's put it this way: what's going to happen with Jaws? Do we know what his medical condition is like? How well is he going to play? What type of Blake Jarwin are we getting? You know, because as good, obviously, as Schultz was, he's not an every down tight end you want on your starting lineup game to game. He did absolutely fine in what we asked him to do.
I disagree, mate. I disagree. Right, look, let's put right. So that one,
he was above expectations. That's what you can say.
No. Right, so that one season where Jason Witten was gone, right? He was pretty much our full starting tight end throughout the whole season, and he did pretty much well. Right, but
that Giants game at the end of that season where he came up with the three
the giant killer, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, you could say he was like above average, like from what we were expecting of him. But but he still had a stellar of a bloody season from someone that was pretty much unknown, like pretty much so. But now when Jason Witten came back, he was pretty much put back in the back seat because it was just pretty much giving royalty a seat. You know what I mean? So, because Jason Witten doesn't will always have a place in Cowboys Nation no matter what, even if you're just there as a bit part player, which he was. But Witten was just there just to kind of just lace up the boots once again, and we didn't see Jarwin as much that season. But I just think give him time. I think Jarwin can be that tight end where we've been looking for, and that's why we gave him that contract. I really do.
I know you don't like. I know you're not on the Kyle Pitts train, Paul, but does it just not sound good though when you kind of if you look
I just don't see the need for that.
Run through it.
Yeah, true that, but if you look at it that way, so you've got Dak at QB who's going to get better. He's got better every year. We've got a top 10 running back. We've got, you could argue, three really good wide receivers, and then you throw in a beast like Kyle Pitts. That makes the offense even more sexier than it is already.
I know that, Jamie, but
yeah.
But like Blake Jarwin, he's more under the radar. Like, you probably might end up getting more of the passes, but when you've got a name like Kyle Pitts in your starting lineup, it's gonna there's people's expectations and expect him to say, "Oh, we've got this magnificent tight end, this one of a kind blue chip player. We expect him to get 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns for a tight end." That's just unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Like, I'm seeing everyone's expectations on this. If we do draft Kyle Pitts, people have this certain expectation if we go for an offensive player, no matter what position it is, like a skill position player, they tend to think, right, you better get 1,000 yards in his rookie season, must have at least 6 touchdowns. No, just calm your jets and sit down and just, you know what I mean?
I get
but it's not just about scoring, it's about controlling the game.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry, Gray.
I get why we're talking about Pitts at 10. He's projected, I'm going to say projected to be a blue chip talent, but I'm going to throw out a well-known NFL saying, and offensive play wins games, defenses win championships. And right now, our defense is not ready to win a championship.
But but then you say that. Yeah, but you say that. Look at
the 10th overall pick.
Yeah, and also look at where the Kansas City Chiefs this year, last season, and the season they won the Super Bowl, where their defense ranked. It wasn't even halfway. They were below average.
But the Buccaneers
so what you've got is you don't.
The Buccaneers defense won the Super Bowl.
Their front seven did. Most certainly, yeah.
No, Winfield Jr., come on. He was outstanding.
You
I
are.
like Andrew's comment.
That's all I'll throw out. We have a
Yeah.
we have an awesome.
I mean,
defense.
Wait, bring that comment back up. Bring that comment back up. Oh, Andrew, that's fantastic.
As much as he's trying to make a joke, he's right. He's right. Pitts
I don't think Pitts.
That's what
Pitts
I'm saying.
will
I
actually
think
be.
Miami will pick him. I think Miami will get him.
Do you know what though? Just to kind of go back on
the thing you've got to look at too is if you look at the what. Oh, sorry, Jay.
No, sorry. I was just going to say I get what Dog's saying, but there's been talk this week that Miami are fielding calls again and they're looking to move out of the 6th spot. So it might not even go to Miami.
Mm.
Yep. And you look at, I reckon if Pitts
he's definitely
is there at 10. Go on, Mike. Go on.
Yeah. No. Keep going.
I think Mike's a wee bit delayed.
I was going to say if Pitts is there at 10, you're going to have a sort of Johnny football situation in the Dallas war room, because yes, we've all seen that Jerry's completely infatuated with him. Stephen Jones has been on the radio saying that it's defense across the board that needs sorting out first of all. So I think that was tipping that, even things like Micah Parsons or what have you might even be an option. There's talk as much as us as trading back. There's also talk of us trading back into the first round as well. So my sort of hot take is we're going into the draft with 10 picks. We aren't going to pick 10 players. We are going to be using those picks to move up and down the draft, garnering capital for either this year or even stockpiling for next year, some of the big picks next year as well.
You know what?
I like that take. I like that take.
I like that take as well. I find that's a more realistic approach what Daz might do, especially when it comes to maybe the second and third rounds. We might trade back, gain more picks for this year, next year. We might move up if it's a certain player that we just can't refuse to kind of let go, type of thing. So I think you're right. I think we'll split, like you said. What is it? 10 draft picks we've got. So I think that there's guaranteed that we're going to at least trade one of our picks for something, if it's for more or moving up for a certain player. So we'll soon see.
I'm all up. Basically, my theory is always drafting top 100 players. Like I would be quite happy to draft all the way up to the end of day 2, and then just disappear and go down the pub for day 3. I definitely think trading up is the way forward. If we came away with the amount that they have,
if we came away in this draft with let's just say just take trades out of it with Rashawn Slater at 10 and Asante Samuel at 44, that for me just wins the draft. We've addressed the line, we've addressed the cornerback situation.
I agree when Mike says that the way is to move up, to trade up, because 10 draft picks are not going to make the team. It's as straightforward as that. You're hoping to get maybe 6 or 7 players from our draft class. So if we can leverage the 5th, 6th, 7s to move up a couple of places to get who we really want, that's so much more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I think's been interesting this week or the last couple of weeks, Cowboys break have been going through the past 4 years worth of drafts, and you always look, they get down to the 6th round pick, and we've actually hit gold on some of the 6th round picks. Guys like Noah Brown, Donovan Wilson, so we do seem to have
Cedric Wilson
as well. We seem to be doing quite well with the 6th round pick. Maybe the 4th and 5th round picks, we have a bit of problem, but
yeah, the Wilson picks.
Yeah, that Graham, the phone's calling, mate.
I think it was it Bucky Brooks the other day? I'd seen a comment and he said, with your first rounders, if after 3 years that they're not playing to a high level, then you can pretty much class them as a bust. that they should be playing at a high level after 3 years, and if not, you've wasted a pick.
Agree. Totally agree with
on.
that one.
Yeah, and we're going to find out shortly. We're going to find out shortly with Leighton Van Der Esch, because we're going to decide in the next couple of weeks whether we're picking up his 5th-year option.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's only played, I think it's something like 26 games in 3 years. So,
he would be on a basic. He would be on the basic. Yep. Yeah. Which I think works out at like just less than 10 million. It's like 9.8, I think, if I'm right, because he's made no Hall of Fames, Pro Bowls, and he's played less than 50. Is it 50% snaps? So he would be classed as a basic. So I think, me personally, do you know what I would do with Leighton Van Der Esch? Here's a hot take. I would actually extend him.
I think we're going to have to. I think we're going to have to, regardless, because we're so our depth for LVE is.
I
know what Brian's saying ain't worth the money, but I think we're kind of left with no choice in a way.
And not just that. If you extend him now, you can push all that money out. You can push it over 2 years and do what you want with it, or maybe further over 3 years, and you can see what you've got there. You spent a first-round pick on him, and more than anything, it's the injuries. Because his play was quite bad last year, but it was the injuries, I think, that are holding him back.
I'll pick up on one thing there, Mike. He was a Pro Bowler in 2018 and a second-team All-Pro.
So but he was in the Pro Bowl as a alternate. He wasn't. Yeah. So that's not included.
I would.
So, Mike, what you're saying is, you give him a 2 or 3 year extension rather than pay the 9.8 million, because he's more likely to take a deal.
Yeah, go on.
He's more likely to take maybe 4 or 5 million over 3 years, like per season, as opposed to the 9.8 first round extension. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
he's highly likely to sign it as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not picking that option up. No way. He's not being worth it. Not a million years.
Not for the 1 year. No. But that's what I would do. Anyone got another hot take? And send us your hot takes at home as well. We'll use them. But anyone else got a hot take, or do you want me to run with another one?
Safety.
Okay. I'll go with that one in a minute. I've got one for you, though, that I think the Cowboys should trade down, right? And I know you guys have all been talking about, Satane, Slater, Horn. I think they should trade down and get this player, and this player will be Rookie of the Year this year, and that is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a certain Michigan player, and I was like, no.
No.
But you know what? Actually, like, if we were to trade down and get him, I would be very, very happy with that. Very happy.
Sorts out your front seven. Although he's not a pure linebacker, you look, the NFL, we like when we're talking about Kyle Pitts, right? What we're really talking about is a mismatch guy. You look at the Chiefs, you look at the Bucks, you look at San Francisco, 2 teams that have been in the last 2 Super Bowls. What have they all got? They've got a mismatched player on offense in respects to the tight ends. So how do you do that? Well, you get tight end killers. Okay, you can get a tight end killer, but most tight end killers then aren't very good at stopping the run or having to move out into the slot. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is a mismatch on the reverse side on defense.
Can I just add one more name to that, Paul, Mike? Because Azeez Ojulari as well. I would not.
I love Azeez Ojulari.
If we traded back and we picked him up.
Yeah, I like Azeez. His arm length and wingspan and strength is just crazy.
Here's a name for you. Here's a name for you in terms of offensive rookie of the year. Whoever the 49ers take at 3. Ooh. Because he will be one quarterback and
Yeah.
it's always helpful to be a quarterback. You know,
Yes.
the guy on the front page, he will have a defense that will keep his team in the game.
He's starting all right O-line. He's got
an all right O-line. Yeah. He's got a tight
good
end he can rely
defense.
on.
Yeah.
He's got a defense.
He's got his wide receivers
which
now.
is big.
He's got his wide receivers, but so long as
Yeah.
they bench Garoppolo, obviously, because he's not gonna earn off the bench. So
No.
if they can get it right at 3, bearing in mind that the first 2 QBs have already gone and they're settling for whoever's third, still think that's wild. But whoever they settle with at third, and he hits the ground running. I talk all the time about how teams should draft quarterback last, and that should be the final play. That's where the 49ers are sitting right now. There's no point in putting the QB in there with a poor offensive line and no receivers. It's the exact opposite for the 49ers because they've got their defense, they've got a serviceable offensive line, they've got a tight end they can rely on. The pieces are there for a quarterback. Even if, as wild as it is, they're basically saying, we'll take whoever's third. But if he starts early, there's every chance he could end up as offensive.
Yeah.
I've got another hot take that will up yours, Graham. What if Trevor Lawrence falls from Jacksonville? What if?
Come on then, hit us with it. Go through the scenario and go into it.
Right, so obviously you heard the wee comments that what Trevor Lawrence was saying is like I can't remember exactly what he said, but it didn't really go too well with a lot of Jacksonville fans about his attitude towards football in general. About it's not all about winning; it is about winning. So it was something along the lines of that, and not a lot of people took so kindly to that. So
he does love football, though.
I know that, but I'm just saying. But some owners might actually kind of take about. Okay, we need a question about: do you really want to play football or what? Like that was the impression that a lot of reports were getting off him, and a lot of the vice versa and stuff like that. So I'm just thinking, what if he actually lands at number 2 or even lands in San Francisco? He won't go past 3. I know that for a fact, but I'm just saying, who knows? Anything could happen. Who would have thought that trip?
Like he interviewed Bard, for instance. Like in that respect.
In that respect. Like, don't get me wrong, the talent's there. I still think he will go number 1 overall. But I'm just saying, what if?
There's rumors
Wow. Okay, that's my answer to the question. Cheers, Andrew.
There's rumors that Trevor Lawrence found a $100 bill in the playbook and then lied about it.
I know. No one went to his birthday party.
Hey, I know. Here's a good one. Here's a good one by Steve.
Oh,
hot take: Zach Wilson to be a Manziel. I don't think Manziel had personality issues and all the rest of it. But I know what he's saying. That Zach Wilson, he is literally a 1-year wonder, and
so is Trubisky.
Yes, and look at that. Look how that fell apart. I know he's still going and all the rest of it, but still. But that is one that does baffle me. I think he looked good last year, but the thing that people aren't taking into account is who he played. His best game, and I've said this already before, his best game that people keep going to, and they're like, oh, just go and watch his tape last year. And I watched the tape. His best game was against Navy.
Zach Wilson will be a bust because he's no playmakers.
What you got to look at as well, BYU, their offensive line and who he's passing to, he's got the weapons, and then you take that and then put that against poor competition. Yeah, you're going to look good. Yeah. I agree with Steve on that one.
I've got 2 names for you, Mike. Rookie of the year, Quitty or Elijah Vera Tucker for me.
Ooh.
I'm going to say
Paul doesn't like Michigan defensive ends, but just throw his name out there.
It's not like I don't like Michigan defensive ends. There has been a lot of good players from Michigan that's actually been quite successful. It's just
remember,
it's just tackle Charlton. It's just tackle Charlton was just Like,
just all I can tell you is they're two totally different players, both stylistically and talent. Don't scout the logo.
It's for me the thing with Tackle John, we pretty much just kind of picked what was deemed as the best player available. Yet somehow we completely forgot the fact that TJ Watt was in the board. Still haunts me to this day, you know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, guys, and then I want your guys' thoughts on this. Do you find that all these players that are really like controlling the NFL in terms of like the ones that are making the big plays are the ones you're finding within picks 15 to 22.
Yep. Like
these are the guys that like it's worth the gamble picking these guys. Like I'm seeing this a lot more. You're seeing a lot more teams trading back down into those spots to get this type of guy, for example.
It makes sense also because they're better teams, 15 to 32.
Yeah.
You know, they're not expected. They're not expected to be the difference maker. Do you know what I mean? Like, if somebody goes 1 to 10,
that's true. Yeah.
If they're that far picking down, their roster's already loaded.
Yeah.
Again, on mix shots this week, they were talking about quarterbacks taking 1, 2, whatever in the first round, and who had a winning record and everything like that. First year, the last time somebody had a winning record as a quarterback was Andrew Luck, and that was way back in I can't even think 2011 was it or
2011 I think it was.
Yeah.
It is a wild one. I do like the pay pick because again, it's a defense. I just wonder if it's a bit rich for pick number 10. That's the only issue I have with pay. That everything else he does.
2012 he joined the Colts.
2012, yeah.
I just think I know what people say, like Brian did about the production, but he isn't asked to sack the quarterback a lot. If you actually look at how often they ask Kwity Paye to blitz, and his percentage of sack production. So based on how often he is asked to go and sack the quarterback and the percentage he does, I think in entire college last year, I think he ranked like 3rd. His sack production percentage was like really insanely high. They just never asked him to do it because they were asking him more to set the edge and be in run defense. But it's also, you could argue, one of the reasons why Harbaugh was on the fence, really, of whether he was going to stay in Michigan was or not, was a lot to do with his coaching on the defensive side of it all. Because usually that was their bread and butter, and they were just absolutely awful last year.
Another one for the hot takes.
Come on, then, keep them going.
Let's go around the room on this one. I want everybody's QB number in the first round. How many QBs are selected in the first round?
First round?
5.
5.
5. Yeah.
I said 5 right from day one.
Yeah, 5.
And four in the top 10, I think.
5 in the top 10 for me.
Wow! Now that is a hot take.
Oh,
in the top 10.
Yeah.
So you're including Mac Jones 6. In that.
Someone's going to pull the trigger.
That's high for Mac Jones. Wow.
I think Mac Jones will go in the first.
Within the top 10, 4.
Yeah, 4 in the top 10, and then another one in the mid-rounds.
That's assuming Dallas don't trade down for somebody coming in to take the 5th quarterback.
Okay, then next one. Who's the 6th?
I couldn't tell you.
Kyle Trask. He'll go in the 2nd though.
Yeah, it would be Trask, but yeah, and he'll struggle. He'll be the struggler.
I'll be honest, I couldn't care. Because quarterback's a position we're not focused about, so I'm like, I don't even know their names. So
I did see a theory on Twitter the other day that Trask goes 32 to the Buccaneers.
Yep.
Okay.
And that makes six.
See, there's a little bit of Tom Brady in Trask. See, the touch pass, the stabilizing himself in the pocket and moving around in there.
Because Captain America's not going to go forever, so they've got to find somebody somewhere.
Yeah, no matter how much juice and salad he eats, eventually it'll kick in. Go on, Lorne, give us one of your hot takes. And then I'm going to go to Paul then. If you've got a hot take for us, hit us with it.
I think Defensive Rookie of the Year next year, Christian Barmore.
Ooh.
I think
I can see why.
I think if the system that he was running in 2019 was the same last year, then and they were asking him to do what he did in 2019 when he was all SEC. And I think they asked him to do something completely different last year, and it's much the same as with our defense. He wasn't able to do what he was happy with, so I think he would be talking about, yes, he's a top defensive tackle, but I think you'd be comparing him to something like Chase Young if he'd been playing again in that system this year.
Yeah, and what's funny is we all bang on about Gerald McCoy last year. Imagine if we had him. That's Christian Barmore. That is exactly what he is. You go and watch him and you go, oh yeah, that's Gerald McCoy. And you're like, well, there you go. You were happy to have him last year. He can be available to us there. I think you'd have to trade down for the Cowboys in order to go for a Barmore. But if you go through Barmore's statistics as well, from last year, he's right at the very top in terms of what he was doing, in terms of production. And he can do it all up and down the line as well. You watch him taking snaps in the A gap, the people
tackles for loss.
Yeah, and here we go. He played the majority of the snaps in the B gap, but he played in the A and over the tackle. So you're looking at him up and down the line. Although personally, he's exactly where he needs to be. But let me try and have a look at some information that I try and give to you. There's another fact for you, is that the guy has been in 2 national finals.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? There ain't many people coming out saying that. But a hot take question, Elgar or Mond? Which goes
Mond.
first?
Mond.
It would be Mond.
I've got another hot take for you, just because a lot of people are starting to love him, and he seems to be rising up the boards. That Quinn Minarez will be the first lineman taken in the second round.
I agree. I think that will happen.
No, I can't say.
In the second round, I think he will.
I can't say too much because
he's going to be the first lineman to be taken as well. That's what I mean. He's definitely got. Yeah, agree with Paul. He's going to be the first lineman taken in the second round, though.
Yep, agreed.
Okay, first lineman in the second round.
Yeah, in the second round.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say, I'm going to keep the Quinn Miners talk close to my chest, because for next week's show, I've got some bits and pieces that I got to go through, and he's in there somewhere. So I'm not saying where or how or what, but when you hear it, you'll just be like, eh?
Did anybody see him on Good Morning Football the other day? And they were literally asking him what he was doing. This is obviously his last weekend before he becomes an NFL player. He's moving house, and he's literally, he's not paid somebody to do it. He's like, I'm just going to move it myself. The kid seems down to earth.
That's just typical D3 attitude. I'll just do it. He played center for Wisconsin Whitewater last year. Didn't know how to play the position. So he literally spent night after night after practice just snapping the ball between his legs into garbage bins.
Sounds old school.
That's all he did. Yeah. It's typical D3, isn't it? But that's what he was doing, just going over it over and over and over. And ironically, one of the things Tyler Biadasz struggled with last year was snapping the ball between his legs to Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton made comments about it, that it comes out weird, comes out in an angle or something. So he had to practice, but it just goes to show you. But I do like that one, and I do like Quinn Miners from the moment I seen him in the Senior Bowl. It was like, oh, need to go and watch this one.
I thought he was the biggest standout throughout the whole Senior Bowl.
All right. Anybody else got another hot take for us then? We'll have a couple more. I tell you what, Paul, I did say I'd come back to you for another one. So let's get one off you, and then I'll get one off Graham.
I can't really think of any at the moment.
Graham.
I go first then. I'm not sure if it's hot because it has happened before. No running back in the first round.
Yeah.
I think there will be a running back. I think the only running back that will be going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going to take that one step further, and it'll be Javonte Williams. It won't be Najee Harris or Travis Etienne.
What?
I just feel with running back, they've got to be a stick on. They've got to be a huge talent to go in the first round, because see if they're not a huge talent, they're a dime a dozen. You know, we took Zeke where he was because we knew that Zeke was going to be a huge blue chip player for us. I don't see anybody holding the amount of bargaining chips to go in the first round. I've heard I keep seeing Najee Harris as well as a possibility, but is he so much better than somebody you could pick up in day two? I don't think so.
I definitely think if there was one team at least in the first round that's going to pick a running back, it's going to be the Steelers, I think. Because Connors is away.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily have a starting running back anymore.
Then here's a hot take for you. Go on, Jay.
I was going to say I've got one in my mind, but I might get slated for it, and I'm not 100% sure it will probably happen. But
come on, let's do some slating.
Caleb Farley falls out of the first round.
Yes.
Yep.
That's not crazy.
Here we go. No. Here's my hot take that I was going to go for that counteracts yours. Mine was, and I'm not giving you who the first pick of the Cowboys, what that was, but the Cowboys trade back into the first, right? They take Caleb Farley, and then at pick number 44, they take linebacker from Kentucky, Jamin Davis.
I'm starting to like Jamin Davis.
Yep.
All right, I've got a hot take. The Michael Gallup.
Go on then.
The Michael Gallup situation. Trade on trade day.
Okay, yeah.
Trade on draft day.
Trade on draft day.
Yep. So
what are we getting?
Moving back into the first plus additional picks.
We're moving back into the first with the Michael Gallup trade then.
Yep.
All right then. Right. So let us then, for the final time, I'm going to ask y'all and everyone at home as well. You'll get my pick next week, but give me all of your, and it doesn't matter if they're trading back into the first or whichever way you want to do it. And I'm going to go to Jamie first for his first and second Dallas Cowboys pick of this year's draft.
I've not even thought about the second round. It's not my
You're going to have to. I'll come to you last then, all right, Paul?
Right, hold on. Pro Football Focus. Here we go.
I'll give you my second pick if you want my second pick now. My second pick is Richie Grant.
Can I be cheeky?
And that's what I want.
Can I be cheeky and go with 2 first-round picks in a second, just in case, not a trade scenario?
Come on then.
If Kyle Pitts is there at 10, they'll take him. If he's not, Rashawn Slater and then in the second round, Asante Samuel Jr.
Ooh, I got some information on Asante Samuel Jr. that's coming up next week. So I'll leave that there. Lorne, you give me your first and second pick.
Right. First pick, I think we trade back, and I think we're going Horn. I think we then trade back into the 20s if he's available, and I would take either Barmore or Ojulari.
Ojulari, yeah, I love Ojulari. Ojulari keeps going on my draft board. I keep pushing him up further. I think he's about 14th now because I keep going, yeah, no, love it. Watch another bit of tape, and I'm like, yeah, going up again. So I need to stop before he ends up overtaking like Zach Wilson or something. All right, then, Greg, give me your first and second pick. And this is not what you think the Cowboys would do, what you would do.
What I would do? Oh,
yeah,
right, okay.
It's your choice. You are Will McClay, Jerry Jones. I do like Mo Rick too. I do like Mo Rick.
Trade up for Matt Jones.
Yeah.
CJ, you're good on as if that hasn't crossed Jerry's mind. let's never underestimate the mind of Jerry Jones. Right, okay. If it's me, I'm gonna go with me, but with a hint of what they'll do. I'm gonna morph it, combine it slightly. So for me, it's Surtain and Eichenberg.
Ooh.
Okay. Again, Eichenberg next week. News on that one. I'm going to keep that one close to my chest. All right, then, Paul, hit me with your first two picks.
All right. Dallas will trade back in the first round and take Jeremiah Owusu Kalamura. And
I like it.
And we actually do get an additional second pick with that as well. So we have 2 second round picks.
Okay.
So the next one would be sorry, I'm trying to find them. I had them earlier. Safety Richie Grant. And interior lineman.
Yes.
Quinn Miners, Wisconsin Whitewater.
Oh, I'd love it if he
right.
I'm gonna have. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not
bad. To the guys that traded down, I know there'll be people watching. So the phone rings at 10. You take your phone call. You end up with, let's say for argument's sake, you end up with a first round pick next year to go to 16. What if your guy goes at 15?
Yeah. That's always the gamble we take, good sir.
Well,
I think you need to have 2 or 3 guys that you love.
Yeah. Yeah, if there was an R one, then it would have been what was the defensive tackle's name again in the first round? You mentioned him earlier.
Christian Barmore.
Christian Barmore would have been the other option along with Usikara. I can't even fucking say his name. Shit.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Or Ojulari. That would be the 3.
Ojulari.
Ojulari.
To kind of counter my argument, I think the way our defense sits just now, there must be 2 or 3 options that we can upgrade on defense whilst trading back. I mean, straight away you've got Barmore, you've got Horn, you've got Morig.
There's more depth of better value at that 15 to number 22 number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're getting a much more better bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying trade down is bad. I just hope they've got a list that they would love in the late teens, because there's nothing worse than, we'll trade down and then somebody jumps up ahead and takes who we want.
I mean, even Greg Newsom's getting some favour at the moment, and he's played in the cover three. He's played in the cover three defense, which is obviously what we're moving to this year with Quinn. So he's coming in. He's got an experience of a similar system. He probably would be more plug and play than going to some other team where they're asking him to do man coverage. So he's certainly somebody that can be considered. As Stephen Jones said, it's defense across the board. That yes, they've plastered the gaps with free agency, but they're not limiting themselves to saying we need a cornerback at 10. Okay, so if Micah Parsons is there at 15, if JOK's there, Barmore, whatever, you've got a list of players that you've got potential first round pick grades on, and you'll pick whoever you've got. If it's 9.1 or 9.2, which is a lot of the grading system, you'll go with the highest available pick.
Yeah, I agree there. Whoever's highest on your board, take. But right, guys, we've hit the hour mark, so that's the hot takes. We can do the advert and what have you in a moment, pay the bills. But what I wanted to do is let's get hyped, guys. It's all about now the 24-hour draft show news. So people have been sending messages and comments and quotes on this one. The guest list is absolutely crazy. We have, as well, some giveaways. So, just so you know, the giveaways and the competitions, they're going to be really simple, totally free. So we have Dallas Cowboys baseball caps to give away. We've got a few of these little flags and what have you to give away.
Pendants,
yeah. We've got 2 massive giveaways for you. First of all, one of the ones totally free, as we said. All you got to do is watch the show, share it, all the rest of it. One of the ones we've got is a full-size Dallas Cowboys canvas. You will see it next week, and it'll be on our Facebook, and a signed Dallas Cowboys book as well. Jamie, do you want to give away who the player is that signed the book?
I will do, but just checking if you've seen the comment from Brian. I won't put it up on the screen before we, just in case you've not seen it. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry. The book is signed by Bill Bates.
That's right. Official as well. We've got as well Dallas Cowboys hats to give away and a football as well. Got a little Dallas Cowboys football that is being given away. Okay. People want to know the guest list. The guest list is the big thing that people keep asking about. So first of all, these are completely confirmed.
But don't mention it yet. I thought we were going to release the graphics to re-announce it. I thought that's what we were going to be doing.
We will do that. We're just going to spill a few names just so people know. Keep a level of intrigue. On the breakfast show, we have Sky Sports and Gridiron chief editor Neil Reynolds joining us in the morning, as well as a member of the NHS charity joining us. So that's the morning, just something light to break into. In the afternoon, so let's go through these. Some of the guys, there are going to be more names added to this, but these are confirmed. Derek Eagleton, Mickey Spagnola, Brad Sham, David Hellman, Kyle Yeomans, Shannon Gross, just to name a few of the guys from Dallas Cowboys media that are going to join us. They're going to be more in the afternoon. People asked if this guy is on. This guy is on, and he's on for extended time, is Brian Broadus. He is joining us. And Mike Fisher is going to be joining us as well. And Ari Temkin. So that's pretty much all of 105 The Fan covered. Pretty much all of them. KT, Kevin Turner, Jeff Kavanagh, and another big one as well for you guys that is going to join us. We just got to sort out a couple more details. The return of Jane Slater. So we have spoken to her. she's coming on. We just need to get a time sorted with her. So that should be good. Jeff Reinbold, he's on with us as well. But he's in Hawaii, traveling to Texas, of all places. So we just need to finalize and tweak the details with Jeff of when he can come on. And then we've got the usual suspects then. So we've got West Coast joining us, RJ, Brandon from Cowboys, Barry Gipson from OAT. He's actually going to be on with us when the draft's happening. Yep. Kelsey and Meg, they're in the line, so that should be good. Skywalker Steel and Big Game James are going to be joining us post-draft. So we'll have both of those boys from their show coming over. And we've got Jay Tuck joining us, and possibly, I was speaking to him today, Bluff City Cowboys. So that is all coming up next week on a 24-hour show. More names to be added to that as well. Oh, yeah. Because we do have Barry Griffiths from Cowboys Experience joining us with a couple of former players. Cowboys Experience. There. With a couple of players. I will give you a hint on who one of those players are. He will be a future Hall of Famer. That should have given it away.
No, it's not Cal Pitts.
I've just remembered, Mike, with you saying that. I completely forgot that you told us that this person could potentially be on. So I was like, oh, yeah. Oh.
Killing me, Graham. Killing me.
But just so you know, there is one more massive, massive name that is on there that I haven't told you about. We have spoken to the man's agent, all confirmed, all the rest of it. It's just technical details to get him to call in. The guy on draft day, his busiest day of the year.
That's a giveaway.
If that doesn't give it away, guys, that should be a massive giveaway.
Mate, I don't care. Shut the fuck up. That's enough. That's enough.
Yes. So once we get the technical details, he will be joining us. If you can make it, make sure you're on round about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. But it's going to be on all day. One guy I did forget to mention who has come back to us as well this week was Heckman Harrison. He is joining us as well. So that should be good fun.
Who the hell is Mel Kiper?
Who the hell is Mel Kiper anyway?
Who the hell is Mel Kiper?
But the amount of giveaways we've got, I don't know if... Have you got the canvas there, Jamie?
It's downstairs.
Downstairs. Don't worry about it. It can stay there for now. But we've got, honestly, the amount of giveaways we got, and it, like I say, although we've got the charity running, all we're going to say is, there's some more giveaways for you, some more stuff that are just totally free. All you got to do is just get involved with us. I do want to spill the beans, but I can't. Oh, there's also as well Ken Hamlin. Forgot to mention him. He came back to us, ex-safety for the Cowboys. And we have Flag Runner Cruz joining us. So you guys might not know him. We know him quite well. He's one of the guys who runs out onto the field with the big Dallas Cowboys flags and when they score a touchdown. He's working from the start that day, so that will be quite interesting. Speaking to Taylor Stern as well, trying to get that one sorted. Yes. So, that is probably the most that we can give away for now. But it will all be there. We start at 7:30 in the morning here in the UK, which would be 1:30 in Dallas. If you're way out on the West Coast, midnight. Officially draft day. Unfortunately for DJ Dog, it won't be officially draft day for him because the draft day would happen the day after. If I got the times right, yeah, it would.
US at the moment.
Yeah, oh god, time zones are such a pain in the backside.
They are very hard to figure out. They are very hard.
Well saved.
Yeah. But you guys, you got anything to add about the 24-hour draft show I haven't mentioned yet for next week?
Big Putney.
just like I said,
I want my first round picks back, Brian.
yeah.
We're gonna need the cut. See, between 5:30 and 7:30 UK time, we're gonna need those comments, folks.
Yeah. Just
Everybody's gonna be in bed.
Even if it's on your dinner break, while you're on your way to work, or if you're at home and just chilling out, and just pop it on in the background, and just even if it's just come on and say hello, or if you want to just throw some comments, like say, as the guys have said,
it's always 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, we're
o'clock somewhere.
We're on for 24 hours, so you don't need to tune in to us for 24 hours just babbling on. Just come on if it's for 5-10 minutes, and just
there's just so much content we got you would not believe, and the competitions will keep flowing, the guests will keep flowing, the competitions will be there, and they'll keep going. We'll even do a couple of things, and I do have to mention this as well. Me and Jamie spent probably too long on this, but we actually made a drinking game for you guys to play at home while the draft's going on. Yeah, we spent way too long on doing it, but it's there. Details on how to get involved in the drinking game will be up later on. Go on, Jay.
You just remind. I don't know what made you remind. You mean I'll put my teeth in. Remember this, but there is also our man Rich is going to do something live on air, and it was a part of the mock draft that we're doing. I'm not gonna think it. I'll tell you off air, Paul. But it was a part of the UK Cowboys mock draft in the Facebook group, and I did a trade with Rich, but this trade was pending something he will do live on air. He agreed.
But yeah, there's loads to get involved with. I mean, we got 24 hours of it. So yeah, I mean, like Jamie said, just get involved when you want. Paul isn't bothering. He said he's not going to do it.
Do what?
Come on. You said you're not going to bother, didn't you?
What? Do what?
Come on the show, the 24-hour one. You said, nah, it's not for me.
Shut the fuck up.
I like this one from DJ Dog. A shot every time, every pick until Matt Jones is picked.
No, I find the questions Kyle Pitts.
What was funny is like we spent hours on it, and when you look at it, right, you people will be like, how could you spend more than 10 minutes doing this? And it was like, no, we did. We generally sat on the phone with each other for over an hour.
Just to give people, just to give the audience an expectation, when you're on the phone to Mike, it's not a quick 5-minute call. It's nearly an hour and a half.
No.
Every time. It's like, Paul, I need to ask you a quick question. 5 minutes later, it becomes an hour and a half. And then we ended up having a whole different conversation by the end of it. So what did we actually originally talk about? Oh, yeah. Then
I do remember that last phone call we had, and it just like, I don't know how we got into like sci-fi movies and.
We were both hungover, to be fair.
And to be fair,
we were very
40 minutes of that is spent losing his signal going through the valleys, in it.
Yeah, I do. It's all right. Some signal is all right because the signals bounce off all the sheep.
Yeah. just to answer, obviously, Austin's thing. I don't think one of us is going to be on for a full 24 hours. We're going to be on.
Pretty much. The show will be 24 hours.
I'm sorry, individuals. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
you'll lose some of us here and there while they go get something to eat and freshen up. But the show, and it'll be in 3 parts as well. Unfortunately, because of the fantastic work Facebook do with their customer services. Zero. Oh God, yeah. Oh. Not for the main special guest. That would be very undelightful.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fan group.
Although that has happened before. Being drunk in front of him.
I think that's a clue. So I think the less we say about our special guest, the better. And we'll release it when
special guest.
A special. Special.
Special.
No, Austin.
Special.
No more clues. No more clues, Austin. So we will release a.
Can we give the initial of his last name? Can we just give the initial of his last name?
No.
It will give it away. It will give it away.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you even said that now, they'll be like, "Oh, mate, trust me when I say this. Shut the fuck up."
I'm not saying anything. You're talking about it. I'm sitting here quiet.
Right. So what I'll say is, everyone, it's like, just be sure to stay tuned on our Facebook group, our Twitter, Instagram, and that. We'll have release images of graphics of our special guests. Be sure to share them. Be sure to get the word out. Because this is all going towards charity as well. So the more you guys get engaged on the show, the more we can actually help raise money for everyone that's actually been working for the NHS. So it makes a big difference. So, and the fact that we've managed to get all these guys, all our friends through Cowboys Nation, through like other podcasters from Cowboys Media to everybody else, they're willing to come in and help out with us to raise money for charity. So. And also have fun at the same time and just talk about football. So, guys, be sure to come along when it comes draft day.
What just to comment on Brian's really quick. You still haven't told me if that's happened, so it can't tease us that way. But yeah, like you said, Paul, like I say, I mean, it's all for charity. So I mean, giving up 24 hours, well, as a collective show is. Pales in comparison from what the NHS has done. I mean,
true.
As a whole, but I mean, in these last 12, 24 months, these 12, 14 months, because it's been horrendous for everybody around the world, and well, especially.
I think in general,
I
think without the NHS in general, from the very get-go when it was first released, it's been nothing but saving grace.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So just for this one, the details is we don't take any of the money. It'll all be on a separate, like a direct NHS site. We don't. Just give it. We don't involved in it at all.
Yeah, it's all going directly to the NHS for a Just Giving charity URL, which is Jamie. I think you've got the URL on the Facebook page, so we will reshare that link. And we'll be posting that link within the comments during the show as well, so you guys can actually go to that page. And if you feel like land over a donation to the NHS, that'd be fantastic. So, guys, but yeah, we will keep you all updated. Give you the link. We'll give you all the updates when it comes to the graphics for all the upcoming guests, and we'll reveal the special guest in due time.
Yeah, I would say after the weekend.
Yes, after the weekend. Yes.
Do you think, thinking about it, because we obviously, I think we were going to announce it tonight, weren't we? But just there's been some technical issues. Should we?
There has been.
Should we do a Cowboys-esque when there's news? Do we do a show, like a 10-minute show to kind of announce it, or do we just blast it on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Insta? Seeing as we've bigged it up now, just thinking, do we go out there and just
We'll figure it out. Let's reconvene over the weekend when we've spoken to his agent a bit more, and then we can come up with a plan from there.
Yeah, so once we do have the full confirmation, we will post it. So, but that's enough. Yeah. We'll talk about it.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed. It's all confirmed and booked. It's the technicals now. But that is it for this week. The final draft show or pre-draft show of 2021. Before we go, as we said, pay the bills. One of the guys we'll have coming on next week, Barry Griffiths from Cowboys Experience as well. Let me just get this banner turned off. And then there we go. He is from Cowboys Experience. He will be joining us as well with a couple of former players. He'd be coming on after Drew Pearson. Anyway, yeah, if you're going to go to a game this year, make sure you book it through Cowboys Experience. They got game day tickets, stadium tours, and tailgate parties you won't want to miss. All you got to do, if you want some free stuff, is use the booking code UK Cowboys. And then that way, you get what, guys?
Free stuff.
Chocolate pudding.
Free stuff. And it's as easy as that. But there is some big news, mind you, that Barry is going to talk about next week about Cowboys Experience, which actually means you never need to leave your home. I'll keep that one quiet, and he can explain. I might have said too much. But yes, from myself, and then from the Godfather, Jamie, from my Neeps and Tatties, and he's no longer the freshman or the sophomore, he's the junior. No, Lorne, you're now a senior. Although that sounds really bad, you're now the senior of the team. So that's going to be your nickname from now on. This has been UK Cowboys TV. We'll see you all next week. I'll leave it to you guys to say your goodbyes, and I'll end the show.
Cheerio, guys. Have a good one.
Stay safe. See you Thursday.